Alright, let's pick up where we left off. We can go into endless mode now. You can just quit a run. You don't even have to continue once you beat the 8 antes. That's the part you're supposed to win to quote-unquote win a run. But to me, half the fun is trying to go into endless mode. Now, of course, it's endless, so we're eventually going to lose. But let's jump into it. If you didn't see the earlier parts of the run, those were in the videos from the last few days. This is just a bonus one. Alright, so we're going to find ourselves in a bit of a tough situation here. Look, it's a basic-ass holographic Joker. We have a good set going. There are several reasons why we should be safe to keep this going for a bit. Some of it's going to depend on boss blinds, but we are a little bit low on the high side. We've got a couple of good ×2 mults, but we don't have anything big and we don't have anything scaling, which is what we really need to start going deep. If I look at stat, yeah. So I've played a 25 billion point hand before. Like, you can get some things going real big if you ramp up correctly. I've gotten all the way to ante 13. I don't think this run's got that in it, but you never know. What I know is we really need to find, like, the Steel Joker. Blueprint's always solid. The thing that adds cards to your deck could be good, but we would have wanted that earlier to have it building up till now. It doesn't count cards you've added. It's only cards you add after you get it. So that's the thing that we're looking at. This, with Vagabond, is on borrowed time. We can't afford to have no money forever, because eventually we need to start looking at, like, okay, there's a rare Joker, we need to be able to buy it, you know, vouchers, etc. Telescope is interesting because of 4 of a kind, but because we can discard 4 of a kind and level it up, I don't think we need this voucher. So I think we're just going to start digging for stuff. Up here in the top, we've got a random Joker. Could be good when this breaks. And then we have strength to make some more, you know, full house, flush house combinations. I guess we'll take a look at this, because if we do find a rare, great, we can replace, but we'll see. Well, Joker Stencil can be good, especially when it's foil, but obviously we have the reverse of empty Joker slots. We have negative slots, so not any use to us. Crazy Joker, not any use. That's $3 down the drain. You could think about this. Yeah, we do have still non-spades in this deck, but not very many. So, like, but I think these are too good. So let's go to the Arcana pack. Maybe we can use one of these and open up space. We'll see. All right, many queens of spades. We have lucky, glass might be necessary to save us later, and the fool. Thing is, we don't have space for this card, even if we wanted to do that. This is basically a free version of what's out there. So the question then is, can we really increase the rank of anything? Not really. We prefer 3s. We have more 3s of spades than 4 or 5, whatever. We have only 1 jack left to convert into a queen. 8s don't really help, so maybe this isn't even going to be that useful at this point. I mean, when you think about what we're trying to rank up, we want mostly queens. We don't mind a handful of other stuff, 7s, 3s. I got a few 5s. But I don't really think that helps. And when you factor in this wild 5, this wild 3, 5s and 3s are really our next one besides 7s. So since we can't turn anything to a 3, 5, 7, or queen, this isn't very helpful. It might be eventually. There are those straggler cards. We may have to just use that for 1 card and not 2. So I'm not really thrilled about almost any of this now. Puts us in a pickle, because we have to use this now. We could just skip, but that's wasteful. You know, a lucky card can be huge, but I don't know what to put it on. I mean, at this point, we're down to 3 aces, 2 kings. We could overwrite this. We're never going to put it over this. This is too valuable because it's got both bonus chips and mult. And of course, that's guaranteed, and this is a chance. So I think what we're going to do is just build in a safety net. That multiplier could be the last piece we need to keep going at some point. We could re-roll, try and find a tarot. Again, it's tough because we don't have the space for it. Okay. This is a decent outcome. The problem we could run into is if, we don't want to buy one of these jokers because we need space. But we can buy this, and that gets us below $3. We're trying to be mindful of Vagabond. I think we keep it for a couple more hands, but not much. All right, let's get into it. We have 0 discards. Something to keep in mind. Not that bad, but still got to be mindful of it. I'm not really interested in a Mega Celestial pack, thank you. All right, so some of the same things still apply. We still like the idea of playing DNA with either these foil queens or our steel red seal 7s. We're going to get a lot of mileage out of both. At this point, we're starting to accrue a decent amount of 7s. We may even have to play some, but that's okay. Because we want these multipliers, and again, Steel Joker, if we can find it, it's only 1 Joker, but if we can find it, this is going to start ramping up significantly. We're in a bit of an interesting spot here. We do have our Jack, and I guess we could look at some other candidates. Steel 10 could become a Jack with the intent of becoming a Queen later if we had to. Again, that's not really high percentage. We like our 3s. A 9 doesn't really do us any good. I guess I could condense that King into an Ace. At least we have, 4 aces and just the 1 King then. So I think I'll go that route. We'll go King, because we're not doing anything with face cards. We were looking to build maybe all face cards. It turns out it's just Queens. So let's bring these 2 up and also free up that space. And, 1 more mold. Huh? And then we'll sit on Judgment for now. I think we're going to just look to get greedy here. We've talked about this before, but there's not a lot of reason to play the weird flushes with pairs. It might even be good enough, but it's okay. I did just upgrade a pair. I should have done 1 more spade, but that's all right. Get these out of here. Our glass card is here. We'd like to not play that, if possible. So let's just discard till we find another queen, maybe. I would like that money, so let's toss this 10 and the glass queen to get as much draw as we can. Okay. And we'll just play the 7 just to get it out of the hand. This is going to be big. Oh yeah, we should go ×4. Just to show it off. Y'all have the gist by now. Alright, so we're still clearing by a good margin on 1 hand. It's just, I know how quickly this ramps up. If you thought the curve was steep to this point, I have news for you. Alright, let's go 4 times. You'll see how everything just goes blah, 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 blah. Alright, Fool. Well, we created a Hierophant. Jupiter would have been nice earlier. We do not have an Arcana pack. A couple Celestials that we might look to open. The vouchers, eh. We like having Fool around. It's just a question of how we're going to get space for it. We could just sell Hierophant. I don't think we want another Strength, which of course is what a Fool would currently be, so there is that issue as well. Fool could give us 2 cracks at a random Joker, so like if we lose this and we get one we don't like, then we do have the option of a second one if we go that route. Once again, though, we're kind of like blocking our own tarot card space, and the whole idea is to we'll cycle through them with Vagabond. So I think we're just going to sell this for the money. We also could just sell this. I mean, plus 15 mult is good, don't get me wrong. But it's not that important in the grand scheme of things, so I think this is our opportunity to try and fish for a better Joker right now. So, random Joker. I mean, there are some times where this is nice to have. I don't really think this is it, because again, we're just looking for stuff with multipliers. So let's toss this, and buy and use this, and try again. Okay, this is one of the better ones, baseball card. So, uncommon Jokers, 1.5 mult, and of course, what do we have for those? Well, it's not pretty. We do have 2. Vagabond may not be around for forever. So this is multiplier. It's not the best, but it's also holographic. So that is a good pull. It is an improvement. Is it enough of an improvement? I guess we'll see. Eventually, we're going to have to open up space with Vagabond and or DNA. Because again, I don't know if we want to sit on low money forever, but we are getting enough at the end of fights now that maybe it doesn't matter. Do I want a Strength? I mean, we've converted some of the very last targets we care about, like the 6s there, 6 of spades. A couple 2s that could convert to 3s. So maybe just to build our tarot card Joker. We are looking to spend after all. These 2 will take us to $4, so we also could just buy this for no reason just to get below. We'll see. Let's start here. I think, well, I mean, given the other choices, it's easily flush house. Let's do both. Could re-roll and hope for something cheap, but that's unlikely. Okay. Got Mars. We like that. Yes, by the way, Telescope would guarantee that we get 4 of a kind in each of those we open, but since we have some options, we have 3 different hands we could take now, so... And yeah. I guess technically I could have bought and then sold Jupiter, but I think it's more valuable as a multiplier than $1. I don't know. Alright. Now, $30 for skipping is certainly a viable amount, but I think it's more rewarding to play it. Again, we're looking for this combo. We don't really have a thing we like in the starting hand. We can discard a full house, but not a flush house. None of our wilds really give that away. Full house is decent, so leveling it wouldn't hurt. It's not really one of the ones we want to do, but we can't discard for the first time without it being high card or whatever, unless, you know. So I think we're going to discard a full house. We don't have any of the queens we care about. Steel 3s, whatever. So let's discard that. It'll level it. You know, it might be a fallback we need at some point. And now we have more of the things we're looking for. Okay. I mean, this can't hurt. We'll just turn these 3 into spades. That way we make space. Let's see. How many non-spades do we have left? 9. I mean, the ones that aren't wild cards anyways. That's... I don't think I've ever gotten this down to 1 suit. There's a deck that starts with only 2 suits, so I guess that's cheating, but... Alright, so now we discussed our discarding. These are all fine for later, but we don't need them right now. We have 2 of the ones we want. I still think I want to keep these gold cards in hand if I can. Let's go this route. Okay, we have a flush house, but it involves cards we're not super excited to play when we think about it, so let's keep digging. Now this might be fine, a flush house with 3 of these and then just 1 of the 7s, but we have a discard left. I think we might as well use it. Actually, you know what I should do? And maybe I should have done this sooner, but it would be nice if that was a 5 instead of a 4. Might as well. Okay. I think this is going to be plenty, so let's play it. If it's not, we still have a couple plays to use as discards if we had to. But we know how fast this ramps up. This buys us a little bit of time, but not enough. We still need something bigger than that. Sun, I mean, you can argue use it for the +1 mult, but I think we just sell it. We do have a Spectral Pack. I think this is an auto buy. I think flush houses are just too good for us. Joker's back. Let's dig in a Spectral Pack because there's still the possibility of the thing that gives us like 2 copies of the same card, adding seals. We can't do this. Just too many. Like, this is handy in some spots, but not here. We can add a blue seal. That's not like phenomenal, but you know, we can put it on the steel 9 so that if we're holding the 9, we at least get a free planet card. That's, you know, fine. All right, $8. No. I don't think we're getting rid of these for at least a couple more. So let's open this. Worst case scenario, we can spend it on a reset that we don't intend to use. Well, gee, high card, pair, or flush 5. Tough one. Tough one. Yeah, let's just burn it. Sad. At least it wasn't like the Steel Joker. I would have been very sad. This is a little hurtful, but again, For the Kind is the main thing here. It is slightly better still, so... Alright, here we go. No discards, so we're not going to be able to activate Burnt Joker. We also have to play our way into a big enough hand to win this. Now, you can argue we don't have the time to fuck around, but I still think we're doing this. Now that is a nice pull. That gives us the ability to turn something else into this. Maybe that 8. Yeah, that 8's pretty useless. We might just do that now. We need to start thinking about how we play this to draw cards. We have 2 hands we can effectively waste to try and get a big-time hand, and we don't even have to have it be that big, to be honest. We have this in hand, like, we're doing okay. But I think this is very helpful. And hey, that extra molt might matter. Now, we could play 2 pair, but I think what we're going to do is like take our chances here. We can even just play 1 pair. The problem is I can't really play it in a flush without having to play either the queens, which, So it's going to be harder to activate this part of it. Because like I could do it like this or something, but I kind of want to keep this in hand. If this was a wild, it might be different. So I think what we might do is just look to play 1 pair and then toss some of the stuff we don't need. And to be honest, because we're so thin, yes, this is steel, but I think we just got to dig for queens. I mean, there's many of them. And or just a full house, flush house, like 4 of a kind. Whatever we got to dig for, we got to dig. So I think we're going to play this. We put the glass card on the right just to, you know, make sure the molt's at the end. At least of the stuff that's scoring. Planet's sad, but whatever. I think we just go with this and see where we stand. We may have to adjust course on the next one, depending on what we draw. Well... So we have 3 of a kind. We can make that 9 into a spade, I guess. We have 2 steel cards in hand now. Gotta play the 2. Probably gotta play the ace. Probably just play all of this, and that way, if this isn't enough, we draw the best we can. Oh, put that as a flush. Okay. Well. Either way, with all that in there, we shouldn't have been that worried, but... Alright, $6. Not a whole lot there to like, to be honest. This would be good in most runs I do. Also, I'm glad the dogs are just... Here, let me just... Okay. No more dogs. I mean, we could just buy both of these. We do need to make some room, potentially. Buying this could make some room. So let's try that. We'll start here. Well, lucky 5 of spades. Might be what I do, or maybe just a multiplier, because again, we might need that, you know, to live. And I think while we're at it, you know, we're staring the opportunity in the face. So let's get some spades. Look at the rest of those. Make the 9 lucky. Got more 5s than 9s though. Last 9. I think it's a glass 5. I think we just got to make sure we have some options available to us. We do have some cards that have not been turned into something yet. Steel, gold, a lot of the 3s, handful in here, the aces. But they're also not cards we're likely to play as much. For the most part, there's a couple queens. But I don't think this is the answer. 1 more molt is whatever at this point. Like, it's fine. It's good, but I think we go here and just hope to boost a multiplier in one of our core hands. Now, I mean, level 11. Pretty good. And here we go. We have a slot open. Notice where we're at by the end of this. We're in the million. We're just ramping on up. All right, let's get into it. So, well, this isn't too bad. We're just going to play this. Ugh. Our discard's not going to be great here. I guess it could be a flush. I could discard this. That's not terrible, because as a fallback, we could play some of those. Again, the multiplier is so badly outpaced at this point, like, I don't think that's going to happen, but we need to discard something. We don't have really anything worth playing, so sure. Okay. Now I think we just start discarding to grab queens. There we go. And actually we can do it with all the 7s in the hand because... So let's watch this go. Yeah. All right. We're continuing to skate by with not much money, which means if a really good joker shows up, we could always sell some stuff. Like, we're not completely out of draws, but could be weird. Still don't know when to pull the trigger on this, like, as long as I can, until I see something that really knocks these out of the park. I mean, you can argue Vagabond at this point, but I'm going to be spending the money each time. I don't think a full house is worth it. It's going to be 160 times 14. It's just so crushed by the others. So let's go... yeah, I think we go here. We have to try and use one of these potentially. Well, it's going to be tough to use either one of those, but let's go here and see what we get. Ha! Ouija is one we were looking for a long time ago. But now, I don't think that's the case. You can argue it would further reinforce some of our flush house stuff, because all it's going to do is make them all something. But it also might turn them into like 6s, which is fine, because we'd have many 6s then, but not extremely helpful. Right now we're sort of just, by nature of 1 per time, with, you know, like duplicating 1, we're getting to queens and 7s. And we lose the hand size. So I don't think that's it. And as a result, I think we have to skip, because we can't do a polychrome and destroy everything. It's kind of a bummer. Let's sell... this. Let's get this enough for this. Glass, destroy 2, multi, tarot cards, and money. That is kind of tempting. We also could use that to rip the band-aid off here. Because the problem is, you know, Emperor is also a natural candidate, but then this is blocking the way. I think it's this. Now I have to look at the shop a little closer here. So we don't care about Hanging Chad. We don't care about Egg. Don't want Earth. We could re-roll a few times now. We could buy the voucher and then just start earning money. Problem is, when we get to 10, it's going to take us getting to 50. So we'll have to save up for a couple of rounds. And then at that point, I don't know. It's tough. If I want to, I could just burn through this money. Reroll, try and find Joker. Yeah, let's do that. I don't really want strength anymore. I mean, obviously it could still hit some stuff. But it's also blocking Vagabond if I keep it. That can be fun, but the King version is better. And we don't have room for this. I mean, yes, one of those would be better than this technically, but we're not going to hold queens very often. We're going to play them most of the time. Got rid of you. Excuse me, sir. This is good, though. We at least get a Mars out of it. This is going to take some serious consideration, because it has the natural synergy with our 7s. Now, you can also argue 2 things. 1, toss this. That opens up another uncommon Joker, so this gets increased further. This is an uncommon, so it could be a 1-for-1 swap if we went that route. But I think Mime, given how many 7s we've stuffed in this deck, I mean, we've got how many of these now with the red seal? Like 8? It's pretty good. I think we're buying it. It's just a question of with what. This is also a little shaky, only because we have such good multipliers built into our hands. We've leveled them up so much that I'm a little bit less worried about flat mult here, but it's still nice to have to further multiply. It's tempting to want to be greedy with this still. So I think it's time. I think Vagabond is done. So we can keep our money now. Buy this. Is this a 3rd uncommon? Oh no, we had 2 now because we just sold the 1. And I think we keep our money. I guess I could buy the strength. I guess I will, because I'll use it on something and then we'll get the 1 more for that since we still have it. I'll put that back where it was since I'm used to seeing it there. Okay. 840,000. Uncommon Joker is not interesting to me, although it does fit with this. But automatically we play this. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh yeah, I can do that now because I don't have... Okay, never mind. I can keep my tarot cards. I had the right idea and then I forgot. Let's just dig. Although you can argue this is a queen of spades, but yeah, let's keep it. I'm not interested in upgrading flush at this point. Just looking for queens and sevens. Okay. So watch the multiplier on this. It's kind of funny. 390 times 40, 240 times 22. Now, we could include this, but we shouldn't need to. I think we're just going to let this rock. We have 3 discards, but I don't think any of it's necessary. So I think we're just going to go. Okay. Wasn't even that good of a setup, and we still cleared. Now we have money. 2 pair, not happening. Fool. For 4 of a kind is tempting. To do that, though, we would need to sell this because we're going to use something in this. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to sell. We're going to buy and use. Use that. Very good. Now we'll dig in the Arcana pack and then maybe just keep the rest. Could go standard too for 3. Same interest. We have a death. 6 of spades looking real suspect next to everything else. I think given that we have mime now, it's going to be the 7 and not the queens. We have a lot of queens already. 4 of a kind is still our best outcome though, but we can play 7s if we have to. Like, it's not like it's the end of the world. And we still have DNA if we want to keep doing queens in the future. We have the choice, so let's do it. Queens of clubs are hanging in there. I appreciate their work. 14 bucks. Standard pack doesn't have a huge chance of hitting something we want. I think we're just keeping it. And I should have rocked this before I bought mime. I got excited by mime, but... Alright, cards previously played this ante are debuffed. It's not too bad. I think if I play this queen, it'll still trigger this, but the one that comes in the hand will then, because it's a copy, will be debuffed. I think that's how that interaction works. We're going to do it, because I don't have a 7 in my hand anyways. I guess I could discard. But I think I'm taking a queen this time. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. What we can do now is sort of just toss everything. We may toss these two, but for now, free upgrade for flush. We love that. We have a flush house. Flush house is not our best play, but it's there. Could also just get greedier. So maybe keep this, toss that, I guess. Interesting. So I think we go for 1 more discard, toss this. We'd like to play 4 of a kind with 7s in hand, and we can do that now. And I guess this just to toss it. And here we go. Oh, didn't move the glass card. Rookie mistake. We're going to win anyways, but can't do that stuff when it matters. Okay, 9 million. Yeah, no big deal. Diamonds. We have 2 of those. One's a wild, so yeah, probably not. Huh. Well, you can see how this is going to work, and this might spell the end of DNA. It's tough because we'd want to keep generating more face cards, because now we do have a lot of 7s, but when we're playing queens, and of course synergy with baseball card, because it's uncommon, I think that means it's either sell DNA or get rid of fortune teller. I think it might be time to get rid of fortune teller, because I think DNA is just too good for us to build huge possibilities. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right this time. We're going to sell. You did great. I love you. We're going to use. Okay, we're going to sell. We're going to buy. So now, you can see how this is going to work with queens. Retriggering face cards. We have held in hand stuff. We have like something for both our queens and our 7s going, plus another uncommon. Now, if we can just find the Steel Joker, we might really be in business. Glass Molt Diamonds. Well, I think it's time to make a glass 7 in case of emergencies. let's go for a Celestial pack because we can afford it with the interest. That's not super thrilling. I guess we'll keep working on flushes since we keep accidentally doing it with this. I think we'll sit on our money and keep going. So, we're up to 7.2 million, 14 for the boss, and an ante 11. Adding a voucher is kind of cool, especially if it's like hand size or something. We also want to be playing stuff. We're only down to DNA for the playing stuff, though. If the voucher is like get Celestial stuff, I don't know. I think I'm just going to play. All right. Now I think we're leaning towards queens again. If we get to the point where we get a Steel Joker, maybe that changes, but... God, look at all that for just a random high card queen. You can see how we're starting to pop off here. I wonder if I actually want this at the end. 'Cause even though the multiplier is not as big, it also triggers so many times. Might be better. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see if we can discard a flush. I really want to discard one of those. I have to discard something. We have more sevens. Let's keep one of each. So discard a flush. Yep. Who knows? Might come in handy down the road. And then we're just going to discard things we don't need. And play 4 of a kind and just get out of here. Yeah, I mean 61 million. It's no big deal. We don't worry about that. We don't worry about that. Okay, well. Go here. That's pretty bad. But I guess we'll do these 2 as bonus because we don't want diamonds, and other than this 4, this isn't really useful to us, so sure. Something. It's a question of, like, if I started to feel threatened, I would spend all my money. If I was like, well, I got to find Blueprint, because Blueprint with this would be pretty damn good. Or Steel Joker or something. But right now we're still clearing, so I think we just keep the money and go. Now, you can argue this too. $3 for the pleasure. Let's try it. Well, it's our old buddy walkie-talkie, so nope. Okay, onward. 10.8 Milski. Play a queen. Now, we could discard a flush house. We can't discard 4 of a kind. So I think that's worthwhile. I think it's better than raising flush, and we're still going to have plenty of time to get to what we need. I mean, we got 5 discards. So let's discard a flush house. How much does that compare now? Oh, it's hanging in there. That's good. All right, and now we just kind of start discarding things, I guess. I mean, we could play a flush house, but we don't have any of our usual stuff going on. So I feel like that's just a waste of money. So instead, let's toss... keep the 7s. Probably better. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, you can see where the problem comes in, huh? I also don't know if this is actually better than... I think that's going to be better to have the times 2 at the end. Still. Neat. 2 discards left. We do have our Steel Queen in case of emergency, so we're just going to keep digging. I better keep the steel and not the gold. Let's not be too greedy. Because we don't know what we're going to draw into with this last hand. We do have 2 of our 7s now. Now I think we do need to toss those. Okay. Bit of a tough spot. We don't have a flush house. I mean, we have a flush house, yes. And that's... Oh, we don't, right? Because Queen of Clubs, I'm stupid. So I think we need to play a hand that just involves these cards and hope to draw better. I mean, there's a million Queens of Spades. Lots of 7s. Because we have one hand we can play that isn't important. I don't think I can risk keeping the 2 of Spades, so... Okay. So this should be fine, especially with this. I mean, that should take care of any lingering issues. Especially because it plays twice. Didn't break. So you can see why the glass cards can be good. It's tougher in the early parts because you don't really want to rely on them, but in the later parts you almost need them just because you gotta keep ramping. Always ramping. Always ramping. These kind of suck, but let's get an Arcana pack and see. Got a death. 2 tarot cards. Random Joker. We don't really care about tarot cards as much now. We still do, but we don't have that little Joker. Tempting to make another glass queen. Especially because we don't have, I mean, we have one of these as well, which is also good. What do we turn into it? Probably the 8. Yeah, only 1 8. So it's going to be the 8 for something. Foil or glass? I think we need another glass one. I mean, you just saw the value of them. Eventually one of those is going to break. Oh, look at that. Some kind of glass-based Joker. Cool. Even though I've played a decent amount of this, there's still plenty I can unlock. And again, we're still clearing okay, so I think we skip, keep our money. Only one hand type, so we're going to have to decide based on what the first thing we play is. It also means we really can't use DNA this round because we're going to be stuck into high card. So unfortunately, that's just going to keep pulsing with sexual energy the whole time. And we're going to discard looking for one of our hands that we can make comfortably. Ideally, get 4 of a kind early here. 5 of a kind, no. So we're going to play our 4 of a kind and toss this. And then we're locked into that, so we know that going forward, but we got 4 discards. What about 5? No. Just kidding, we just need 1. We're good. Alright, into ante 12 we go. Useless, not very helpful, not very helpful. At this stage, like, I guess making the queens of clubs into pseudo queens of spades could be helpful, but because there's better uses of money, you know? And we're still looking, ideally, to find one of those jokers we talked about. Fooling to death is pretty good. I think we're going to go that route. And maybe we'll use it right now. I may keep it, though. We'll see. Alright. Well, we have another steal. Another fool. So what we could do, and I think this is the sexiest option, is Ace of Spades. You are now... Oh, God. What do I turn it into? How many steel 7s do we have? Like 9. How many total? 23 queens, 13 7s. I think we make more glass at this stage. So, yeah, we're going to do that. What's cool about that is we've done that, and now we can go into Fool to make another death. Could even play it now, but, I mean, these are all queens and 7s. Now, what do we do with this? That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked. We could turn the 7 into a steal, but I think we want that in case we have to play 7s. And it's only a regular steal, it doesn't have a red seal on it. So, I guess the best play is probably this. No, this. Like, this is nice, base molt, but it's not doing a whole lot. So we'll just have an army of queens of spades that are glass and hope to weather the storm of them breaking. Can always make more. I think we're just going to sit on our interest. Again, we're not scared yet, but 300 million certainly gives us pause. 1.2 billion on the extra large blind is troublesome. But let's see how it goes. This is not ideal. And I think I want to duplicate a queen here and not this. Although... let's discard first. Let's toss all of this, see what we get, and then decide. Yeah, it's not going to be a very good upgrade, I know. Okay, so now we have some options. We have basically our main 2. Didn't get a glass, and I don't think I'm going to discard to do it, although I guess you can argue, I mean, unless I'm playing a flush house, I don't love the hand I have, so maybe it is one more discard. Okay, now we have all the stuff we want, basically, in the hand. So first, we have DNA to consider, and we also have death. We can use death on that 4 of spades. That 4 of spades is a black sheep in this lineup right now. So is the 2, but the 2 is at least lucky. Maybe just do one of each, split the difference. So we'll make... Actually, you know what's the most tempting, honestly, is we can make glass cards safely. We could break the glass card in the process of duplicating it. So let's do this. And then we gotta decide. So we now have 4 of a kind with 2 glasses in it. So let's play one. That was the risk. So now we're going to be playing 2 of them, and we'll see what happens. Toss that in. I mean, it's going to win. It's just a question of does one or both break? Oh, it's not going to win. Excuse my hubris. I forgot we're at 300 million. Well, we have another one, and we still have 3 discards to keep going after this, so let's just keep going. You can see why glass is important. We're going to need it. Well, obviously, we're going to toss anything that's not to do with this. And I think we have to toss our glass 7. I think the only way we do this is with 4 of a kind with queens. We're getting a little bit lower on queens. So it may even come to a point where we have to consider tossing a steel 7. But let's start here. Huh. That's a flush 5. Here we go. Yay. I think we have to toss 2 of these. I think the only way this works, I mean, yes, this could go towards, but I think we have to have the big ones or the glass ones or we're just dead. That's how much this goes up quickly. One more. Okay, that's a big pull. Only 1 glass in this and not 2, but we have 4 of these now, so we should be fine. Yeah. But again, we kind of got to find one of those jokers. Like, we've now hit that point I kept referring to where it's like, okay, this has been fun and all, but we have to get something bigger. Steel Joker, I mean, there's a lot of steel cards in this. That'd be like a ×7 multiplier. That would buy us some time. I think we're still going to go Tarot just because there's so many good cards in our deck that we can do stuff with. Case in point, this is another free chance to give us... Oh, that's perfect. Get this fucking king out of here. More glass cards that don't break because it's a safe setting, so that's good. I think we got to start re-rolling here. I mean, when we look at what the next blind is, 450. We had 500 last time. We did waste 1 on making a glass card that broke, a duplicate. We're going to at least re-roll once because, like, those are not what we need at this stage. These are not what we need at this stage. This would have been really good 10 antes ago, the way we were headed. But I think I got to carry 1 more time. I think I need the interest, and I had to spend what I've got to clear the last one because it ramps up so much. Huh. It'd be really nice to be greedy here. I don't know if we have that luxury. Maybe. So we could discard a 4 of a kind. The question is it worth it to then have to dig for 2 more of them to clear this? It would make it, you know, an even bigger multiplier. We could do it with, like, these 2. And then these, unfortunately. But it is doable. Put that on there to trigger this. Well, we're discarding those, so... But we would do it anyways, just draw for better stuff. I think I have to be greedy because I'm not finding the jokers I need. I think I got to just get whatever pluses I can get. So we're going to do this because we intend to play a glass queen for this. So let's level that up. Okay. We'd like it not to break. We want to be putting more in. Okay, good. Now we just got to start digging. So we have the queens we need. We could use some 7s. Okay. I think we're going to go this route. So So we're still keeping 4 of a kind. We have 2 glass queens. The counter argument is keep all the glass queens and play them together, which is pretty viable too. So maybe we'll do it that way. I mean, it's a good problem to have, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yeah, you can see what that's doing without multipliers and without steel in our hand. It's not great. Which makes me wonder then, like, I can play this, keep my discards for the last hand, but if I play all these and it doesn't add up to enough, it's going to be tough. Only 1 steel 7 in hand. Problem is discarding, you know, we got 10 more. I think almost all of those are still red 7s. But it's not a great chance still. You know, that's, let's say it's 9 in 38. Now if I'm only discarding 2, you know, these 2. How many more glass jokers are left? It's kind of hard to tell at this point. 1, 2. A lot of those left. Those are all used, so I think it looks like 3 maybe. This also might just be enough, and I'm not giving it enough credit. But I mean, I think, I don't know. We need to kind of be re-triggering this. I think we need to discard at least once, maybe not both. All glass. I don't think we go all glass. I think we play 3. Alright, our last discard needs to hit a queen. Okay, I mean, I wasn't very specific, truthfully. I don't know if this is enough. I mean, we have all 4 of these now with this. We have 1 glass to ramp it up some. We would have liked 2, but we didn't have many left. We at least drew an applicable hand. So it's either we die or we keep going. Not enough. Well, there you have it. We should have spent the money, it turns out, because even with several glass cards in there, one of which broke, wasn't enough. We had a better combination last time with some of the 7s in our hand earlier. And obviously 1.2 billion was going to be a tough task without having pulled the Steel Joker copycat, something else that was going to give us substantially more ramp, because we had a nice combination going, but it was running out of legs and you could see it. But that's endless mode. It's one of the fun parts of Balatro is you can just be like, cool, I'm going to keep going and see how ridiculous this can get. We were scoring in the hundreds of millions, but at a certain point, it's not enough. And you can even get to the point where you start using like integers and stuff. It's pretty cool. Anyways, that's the end of this. It's kind of the end of a series. Maybe I'll do some more to fill in some weeks where we need it. But, you know, hey, if this is your first time here or just these videos were the first few you watched, this is a good chance to like or subscribe. Let me know if you've been playing Balatro as well. Hit me up with a comment. I respond to almost all of them unless they're stupid. And we'll see you next time.